Hi, welcome to my channel, Success. How to be successful in life. You might be a person that wants loads of money in your life. You might just be a person that wants to be really loving a career and you're not in that career at the moment. You don't even know what it is yet, maybe, or maybe you do know what it is and you're feeling a bit stuck where you are, or you just have come to this and you're just looking at kickstarting something and you're starting from scratch. So it doesn't matter. This is relevant to everybody. So first thing to notice, and this is something back in the day I wish I'd known because I would have done this so much sooner. I've had businesses in the past, they've always done reasonably well. I suppose other people would look at them and think they were successful, but I always felt like I was always striving to do better, never enjoying the moment, never feeling like it was quite enough, always feeling like the goal was slipping further and further away from me, never kind of enjoying any success I had because always looking for that goal still, and it always moves, always moves. You know, like I've said, energetically, if you're chasing whatever it is, it's going to move away from you. So the first thing to do is this. How am I feeling about things in general, about my life, about where I want to be? How am I feeling about it at the moment? Do I spend a lot of time feeling that it's a struggle, feeling that I'm stuck, feeling like possibilities aren't that great, there are not loads of possibilities, but there's so much competition? Do you know any of that stuff? Write it down, whatever you're feeling, write it down. And think, okay, well, that's where my focus is going. Most of my focus is going on how it's hard, how it's a struggle, how I'm not quite getting there, how it's gonna be tough if you haven't even started yet. And so that's the first thing to notice. As soon as you notice that, then you know this is an energetic universe. So if you're putting that out there, that's what's coming back to you, because that's what you're creating with that energy. So what can you do about that? First of all, noticing it, that's the hugest thing. As soon as you notice that and you understand that, then that kind of lessens it immediately, because you think, oh wow, oh right, okay, well that's why. And actually it's a really positive thing, because it really makes you think, really, I can influence energy and then I can get different. How cool is that? So that's the first step. Then you can do, I do this, I've been doing this purposely recently because I've been experimenting with it, which is the magnetic energy, and I've been doing it for all kinds of things, and it's been brilliant. But I did realise in doing it that actually I do tend to walk around with those feelings within me a lot of the time if I'm wanting to go in a certain direction, and I don't tend to even realise that's what I've done. But actually, so from those feelings of struggle I used to have, I always feel possibilities of things now, and it's an energy, it's all it is, an energy of possibility. So you feel that energy within, so you can imagine you're putting a magnet inside of yourself, you're putting a ball of energy inside of yourself, or with me, it literally is, I kind of feel that magnetic force, and Harry described it the other day as the Jedi force, and that's what it is. It's like the Jedi force, because I really feel when I look at the old Star Wars films, I kind of think there's the same thing going on there. There's the same theme, isn't there, with the Jedi, you know, creating things with the Force. And so that's kind of what it feels like to me. That kind of works for me. But I haven't been kind of purposely evoking it so much. It's just a general feeling that I have now that I didn't used to have. So that is the key, definitely the key to my success. So have a go at that. Also remind yourself that actually this is your reality, so there really is no competition, because what's available to somebody else is available to you too. So really what you're doing is directing yourself onto a path, and you do that by reminding yourself there's endless possibilities, absolutely endless possibilities. Successful people never see a lack of possibility, never see a lack of opportunity. There are always opportunities, possibilities, and they see that, and so they feel that, and so they feel that, and so those possibilities show to them, those opportunities show to them, and that you're no different than them. You are no different than a millionaire out there that's doing, or billionaire that's doing hugely well. You're no different. The only difference is energetically, you just haven't tapped into what they're tapping into. This is why some people do really, really well, and then they lose their money, because they lose that vibe and they go more with the lack vibe for a bit, but then they manage to bring themselves back. So they bring themselves back and they make it all back again, because it doesn't matter, you know, if they've lost it, doesn't mean they can't do it again. They've done it once, they can do it again. It's an energetic thing. So that's the best, not the best piece of advice, but it's one piece of advice. Here is the best piece of advice. This is what's supercharged things for me over the last couple of years, is taking my eye off the goal, roughly deciding where I sort of want to be. And I did that with like a financial thing, really. That was the way it worked for me. I thought, well, roughly I would like to be making this. And I thought of all of the reasons that I'd like to be making that, because that really helps. And then I thought, okay, that's kind of set my intention. Now I take my eye off that. I'm not going to keep looking for that, because I know what's going to happen when I do that. That's what's always happened in the past. It's going to move further away. I'll feel like I'm taking one step forward and 2 steps back, and I don't ever want to feel like that again, because it's not the best feeling. It feels like a struggle. So then I thought, what could I do that would set me on that path? What action can I take? So I kind of left it to come to me, sort of inspired action. It's no big deal. It's nothing huge that I couldn't have thought about anyway, but I like to sort of wait for that inspired action. And I thought, yeah, if I do this, then I'm going in the right direction. So that's what I'm going to do. This is my plan. And I really enjoyed devising the plan. It's nothing, like I said, nothing big, not rocket science. And off I went. That's what I did. And immediately I started seeing results, absolutely immediately, to the point where I decided that I wasn't going to take any more SEO clients because I'm too busy with the other stuff that I'm doing. But I sat down one day and I thought, because I don't really do the SEO much anymore, apart from a couple of existing clients that I still have, I thought to myself, actually, I quite like it because I don't do it so often. And I just thought, I'd take on another SEO client if it was like an amazing client that I really enjoyed working with, that was no pressure, it was just fun, and I could do what I do what I know, and if they were here where I work at the Glove, because I can just, if I need them for anything, I can just go and tap on their door. That's what I thought. A couple of days later, I had that from a fairly new business there, a couple of really great guys, really good laugh, no pressure, really fun to work with, really get it, just let me get on with it. Perfect. Nice little monthly amount for me, and I feel like I'm giving them a good service. So, and I did that like super quick. I kind of thought, no, I don't want any more now. Happy with that. But I just did that just to prove to myself really how simple this is, just by putting in that feeling, putting in that, I'm not going to say request because I'm not asking anything else for something. I'm talking to myself. I'm saying, I'm ready for that now. Let's have some of that. But I always feel the possibility of everything, and I've trained myself. I've always been a positive person, I think, and I've always looked on the bright side, but I have also felt that things have been a struggle, because that's kind of what we've been taught to believe, that you have to work really, really hard in order to do well, in order to succeed. So I've always had that within me. So that's what I've always done, striving. I don't want to strive anymore. So now, by just feeding possibilities and feeding opportunities, they will come to you. Ideas will come to you. You'll be hit with inspiration left, right, and centre, and you are on the way to your goal, to your general goal, with just setting yourself on the path and just following that path and enjoying the ride. It's all about enjoying the ride. The more you enjoy the ride, the easier it becomes, the more opportunities open up to you, and things will come along to get you to that you'll think, what the hell? What? It just will seem amazing and completely out of the realms of what you could have imagined would happen. But all you've had to do is open up to possibilities, open up to opportunities, not be closed off to it. Know that this is your reality, so there are limitless possibilities, and no one is going to snatch anything away from you unless you feel that they're going to. It's all yours for the taking. And so you're getting into that vibe. And so when you get into that energetically, that's what starts to happen, and things are supercharged. And when you notice that things aren't happening, think, okay, what am I feeling? Generally, when I've done that lately, or sort of a couple of years ago, I would notice a stuck feeling. I feel stuck. Oh yeah, I feel stuck. Because I like putting labels on things in order to kind of motivate myself and give myself that quick realization of why something's not happening. Stick a label on it. It's a really good phrase for me. So I would stick that label. I'm stuck. Of course, I'm feeling stuck. Of course I am. I'm stuck. That's another thing. Another thing is, so say you're done reasonably well and you've got a certain amount of cash in the bank, you've got a certain amount of money in the bank, and you're doing reasonably well, but you're feeling very protective over what you have. So you're trying to protect what you have all of the time. You don't want to lose it. I can't lose this, I've got this, I can't lose it, but you're trying to do better. Well, what will happen is bits of that will keep being lost due to different bills and stuff will come in, and there'll be reasons that some of that will slip away, and then you'll constantly feel like you're having to replenish that. So you're not ever getting any further because you're constantly replenishing what you're losing because you're too protective of it. It's like when you've got it, then enjoy it and enjoy the experience of what you've done, and know that you've done that so you can get more, and you can get more. Money is just energy. Success is just energy. It's all it is. It's you. Your energy is what brings that to you, because energetically you're feeling it. So energetically you have to see it in your life. I kind of don't want to use the word attract, because attract is like I have to pull it to me, and you don't. It's already there. It's already within you. But then let's look at it this way. You activate the energy which activates that within you. So once you've activated that energy, it's already within you, and then it kind of, that activation just kicks it into being, kicks it into showing to you, but it is already within you. I think it makes it harder when you think of things being outside of you and having to bring it in, attract it to you, and I don't see it like that. But I have no rules with this, honestly. There are no rules whatsoever. And I can feel something that some people will say, well, that's contradictory to what else you've said. And I go, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. You can say it's contradictory, but I don't think it is. If it works for me, I really don't care. So those are the best bits of advice I can give you. Take your eye off the goal and look at the action. Have a clear idea of roughly where you want to go, but don't be too tunnel visioned about it. And kind of feel that you are actually a magnet to this. When you kind of activate that magnet, that within you will start showing in your life. Really, it will. But it's all about knowing that there are endless opportunities, endless possibilities. I watched a news article a little while ago where the guy on there being interviewed stated categorically that there are very few opportunities for young people these days. And I was so shocked. And I thought, what? I thought, you are kidding. Like, back in the day, I would have said there were no opportunities for young people, particularly unless you were super brainy and going to university, or came from rich families, you know. I wouldn't think that now, but I would have done, and I would have been more, that would have been seemed like a more reasonable thing to say back then. But now I think there are huge opportunities, even without this in mind. If Sarah didn't even know about the law of attraction, I'd still say there were loads of opportunities for young people. There's so much open to people these days. And look at this online, what you can utilise here and do well with. So don't ever say to yourself, I thought, well, he's put that statement out there, and there'll be a lot of young people watching that. I think, oh yeah, there are no opportunities for us, you know, and that will be like a little spell that he's dropped into them, you know, by just saying that. And I thought, but obviously he believed that, he truly felt that, but I truly feel the opposite. There are so many opportunities, and if you feel something that you want and you feel that sort of magnetic pull, that magnetic energy to activate it within you, you will start seeing that show up in your life. You will. I can only go by my own experience, and when I've struggled and sort of struggled and worked really bloody hard, mind, to get where I was, and done what, like I said, what other people would consider to be well, but I never felt that it was enough. But now I've enjoyed every part of this journey, absolutely every part of it, and it's not hard, it's not tough at all, and I'm enjoying it. And another thing is, if you're deciding that you want to be successful at something, don't look at success over the thing that you want to do. If you just look at being, I want to be successful and I'm going to find something that I can make myself successful with, don't do that. If you're going to go down that route of doing it yourself, then make sure that you find something you're passionate about. Do something, activate something within you that you've already got a passion for, because you are halfway there then. If you've got that passion for it, it's not going to feel like such hard work anyway. But if you want to be successful and you're just looking for something that can get you there, so that is the kind of vehicle that you're going to use to get you there. The vehicle should be the passion within you. It should not be something that you're kind of going, oh, I'll do that because I think I might be able to make a success of that. Because if you don't have the passion for it, you'll never feel that energetically. You'll not have that same energy that you have when you have a passion for something that you really want to succeed at, because you're enjoying it. If you're enjoying it, then half your energy is kind of better anyway. The final bit here of the puzzle, final part of the puzzle, is to realise that if you really, really care about what people think of you and how they perceive you, then you will find it. There will be issues within that journey which will throw you off a little bit. So you have to know that it's not important how people perceive you. It's only important how you perceive yourself, because then it won't be an issue. It will be no issue at all. It won't impact you at all. And the way I did that was saying untouchable to myself, and I still say that to this day. I've said it a couple of times today, because I remind myself, because it's this most powerful word. And like I said, I don't go I am, because I just don't get on with I ams, because I find there's a little bit of resistance there. There probably wouldn't be if I said it now, but I prefer just to say the word, because I can feel, when I say that now, untouchable, I feel as up of it already, because it's a great word for me. You can choose a different word that resonates with you better, but it means then, so don't care so much about people's perception of what you're doing. When I started with this, I chose my pen name really because my editor suggested it at the time, the first fiction novel that I wrote, because I was writing for business too, and that's fine. But actually, then going onto YouTube, I didn't want to use my name, because The main reason was that I was confident in what I was saying to people, and I truly believed in it, but I was very nervous of somebody I knew seeing it and thinking I was a bit crazy. And I didn't want that people to have that perception of me, because I was showing one face to the world and then I'm this, so I'm this, I'm this. And a business client at the time, found this channel. He must have done some digging, but he found it, and I think it threw him off, because he kind of then, I was doing a really good job for him, and what I was doing was, I'm good at what I do, but it kind of threw him off, and he said, oh, well, he just couldn't, the two things together. But I think that was coming from me, because I felt that that's what people would think, and that's kind of what he thought. And I said, well, I'm still doing a good job for you, aren't I? What does it matter? But his perception then was, how can you be all like, he would think was probably woo-woo, which I don't really think I am, and this, like, from this kind of businesswoman to something else that he didn't think I was. And I do think that skewed his perception of me, but I don't think it was his fault. I think it was all down to me, because I felt that that's what would happen if people knew. But I don't think like that at all anymore. And I would talk about this openly. I had a really lovely philosophical discussion with a couple of my SEO clients yesterday, because we had like a studio like afternoon where food gets put on and stuff, we're drinking, and it was really nice. The three of us just chatting, and I didn't care. And I said to them that I'd done this initially because I felt not confident to put my own name out there. But now, like, this is my name as well. I've got two names now. I don't feel any different. I just feel like one person with two names now, which is great. But I don't have a problem with it now. If I was to do it now, I wouldn't have a problem at all, because I'm untouchable. Who cares? Who cares if anyone thinks that I'm slightly mad? I don't care. It doesn't impact my life, does it? And that's totally how I feel now. And, I felt like I was putting that barrier around myself by using another name, like using my pen name for YouTube. But actually it doesn't. That doesn't do anything. A name is nothing. Because I felt like, well, I'm sort of taking it away from being me, but it's not. It's still me with another name. So that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. But using untouchable means that I do not care who knows what about me now, and what they think about me. It doesn't impact my life. And I feel, it's funny, because I was out with my mum today, and I took her out for breakfast at the Ivy because it's her birthday next week. And I was saying this to her, I said, God, I feel like, she knows what I do, but I don't go on about it or anything. But I did say, I don't really worry about anything anymore. I don't worry about how my life might turn out, what might happen if anything goes wrong or anything. I don't worry about it, because I just feel like, well, whatever, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with whatever happens. She said, oh, yeah, I've really noticed that. Yeah, you don't, do you? So, that's even noticeable to other people. And I really feel that deep within my soul. And that will really help you as far as success goes, because you won't ever be putting on a front or pretending to be something you're not in order to get more success, because you won't feel the need for that. So you will naturally just go with the flow, and things will open up to you. And you'll never, part of the battle, I think, being in business particularly, is trying to pretend that you're something you're not slightly, because you're trying to impress, and you're trying to sell something, or you're trying to get where you want to go, and you feel like you need to be a certain way to do that. So that's part of the battle, that's part of the struggle. And when you don't have that, then it isn't part of it. So it's another thing lessened. It's a little bit easier. So definitely try that, because you can't do any harm to yourself by saying untouchable, can you? Like, find a better word if you don't like that word. But honestly, it's a real game. All of this stuff I'm telling you is a game changer. It has been for me. All put together makes for an amazing plan to move forward in life, to be successful in whatever you want to do. Don't attach your success to a person. That's what I say. Don't do that. We're not talking about people here. We're talking about everything else in life. Then that stuff is successful. That stuff happens and works for you because all of the other stuff, because you've put all of these other things into place. Just imagine untouchable where relationships are concerned. Imagine if you get that feeling of being untouchable, then you're not going to worry about relationships. They are going to come and they're going to flow, and they'll have their ups and downs, but you won't be fearful of losing them. So you'll have that overall success. This encompasses everything. Right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm a coach, I'm an author, my books are listed below, and my coaching is available on my website. You do have to request email coaching, because if I was to let people sign up for email coaching, then it would get completely out of hand. So I need to monitor that a bit more. So I need to have a bit of a wait list. It's not a huge wait list for email coaching, I have to say, because it's more manageable for me. And my son Harrison has a Law of Attraction channel. We have a podcast once a week. The latest one is listed below, and that was on, we talk a lot at the beginning, and we've kind of structured it more now. We're better, I think, now. So half of the video is just us chatting about stuff we might have done in that week and that kind of thing, and whether it was related to the Law of Attraction or not. And then Harry timestamps everything, so you can go to the relevant points if you just want to listen about. So last time we talked about becoming magnetic, how I've done that, experiences I've had, how you can do that, relationships, various things at the end. But like I said, Harry's timestamped it, so you can just skip to that if you don't want to hear all the waffle at the beginning, because we found that people were like having to pick bits out and it was really difficult for people. So I think we're getting better at that. And that is that. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then that would be awesome if you do that. And if not, I just hope that you got something useful from this.